Okay, I have an original effect to share with you today that I can guarantee has never been seen before. So as you can see, I have a good selection of card values, suits, and colors, and I believe there are 16 of them. So let's go ahead and gather them. Now, since the two of us saw the cards, why don't we give them a little bit of a mix so that no one knows where anything is, okay? In fact, let's go ahead and we'll just deal them out into two piles. With random stacking decided by you, actually. How would you like these stacked? Left on right or right on left? Right on left. Okay, very good. And now what I'm going to do is just deal out half of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drop the other half for a second pile. Now for each of these, we're going to perform what's called a Chardonnay shuffle, which I've already performed one of those. But more importantly, we're going to perform a Gilbreth shuffle. Now, what has never been seen before is we will perform as many Gilbreth shuffles as you like, okay? And if you know anything about the Gilbreth shuffle, that should blow your mind. Okay, so for the first packet, we'll go ahead and just give it a Chardonnay shuffle, as I mentioned. Okay. Now, a Gilbreth shuffle consists of just two actions, a reversing of some of the cards, any number, and then a riffle shuffling, or anything equivalent to a riffle shuffle, of the two halves, or two portions. Okay. So in place of a riffle shuffle, since we have so few cards, we'll do a rosette shuffle, which is quite common. Okay, so how many cards should I deal down for the Gilbreth shuffle? Half of them? Okay, that's fine. Kind of typical. You don't have to do half, but you can. Okay, and so now we'll do something that's equivalent to a riffle shuffle. It's called the rosette shuffle. Okay, that one's done. This one here, we'll go ahead and give it a Chardonnay shuffle, as we mentioned. How many would you like dealt to the table here for this pile? 3. Okay, your choice. We'll just kind of spin those, bring them together, however they may interlace. No one is controlling that. Okay. Should we do another Gilbreth shuffle on this one? Yes. Okay. I will go ahead and do a Chardonnay as well, if that's okay. How many would you like dealt this time? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin those, bring them together, however they will. Clean up your mess. And what about for this one? Well, let's do a Chardonnay again. How many cards should I deal to the table for this one here? 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Spin those. Bring those together. Okay. So I think we've done 2 Gilbreth shuffles on each of these. Should we do another one on that one? One more? Okay. So we can go ahead and do a Chardonnay shuffle. You don't have to do the Chardonnay shuffle, by the way. How many cards do you want dealt? You want 4 again? Okay. It's kind of the most common number that people choose. Okay. Bring those together. Clean up. Clean up your mess. I made a big mess. Okay. And we'll pray that my mess doesn't totally destroy things. Then what about this one? You want another one? Yes. Okay. So we'll do a Chardonnay shuffle there. How many you want dealt? You want 4 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll bring those together just for a Gilbreth shuffle. Okay, very good. Now, should we perform one more Gilbreth shuffle on either one of these? Because we've done an equal number, so that might be suspicious for some people out there. So one more on the right. Okay, that's fine. Okay, how many cards do you want dealt out this time? Just 2? Okay, that's fine. That's technically a Gilbreth shuffle. You can deal none, 1, or all of them to the table. Okay, I think, now, note to you as a performer, you can truly perform as many of these Gilbreth shuffles as you like. You can do it for all eternity, and you'll still finish in the way that we hope to finish, okay? Well, you can't do it for all eternity because you'll never get to the end, but you can do it as many times as you like. Okay, and now we're going to randomly stack these. Which would you like on top? Right one? Okay, very good. And then to finish our mixing, we're going to do a crazy shuffle, very destructive one. It's called the Klondike shuffle. This is where you take the top and bottom cards off as one. Okay, and then finally we'll deal into 2 piles, and we're done. Just like this. Okay, very good. 2 piles, and then I have a written prediction off to the side. Okay, what in heaven's name could I have predicted ahead of time about these 2 packets? Okay, the claim is you will separate the cards that have an even number of letters in their card value names from those who have an odd number of letters. Okay, so let's just kind of clarify, what is that talking about? Well, let's look at what's in each of these first. See if we succeeded, or see if my fumbling destroyed everything. Okay, what about this one? How many letters are in the card value names for each of these? Is it either even or odd? Let's take a look. So 7, S-E-V-E-N, has 5 letters. Queen has 5. 2, T-W-O, has 3. That's odd. Let's see. 8 has 5. That's odd. 8 has 5. Odd. King has 4. That's a fail. Let's see. 6, S-I-X. 3. Ace, A-C-E. That's also odd. All of these have an odd number of letters in their card value names, except for this stupid king here. Okay, what about this one here? Situation, are we looking? Let me move my prediction off so I can see what's going on. And then the claim is these really should just be even. Okay, so right off we fail. There's 3 letters in 10, T-E-N. How many letters are there in 5? There's an even number, even. Okay, well, it looks like, where did we screw up? Looks like we messed up right there. The king should not be among those, and the 10 should not be a, what? Oh, wait. Except for the king of diamonds and the 10 of hearts. How in the world is this possible? That I could see the ending structure of these packets of cards that have been Gilbreth shuffled multiple times. No one has seen such an outcome before. Okay, so how is this done? Well, I may call this the greatest con in card magic history. Seems appropriate, actually. Okay, so what you do, I'll bring up a write-up. You start with these very sets of 8 cards. Okay, these are the very ones you want, or something like it. So here's a write-up of what went on. So anything that appeared to be a mistake either was planned or made no difference. In the case of my fumbling with the packet on the left, that made no difference. It didn't matter at all. I could have dropped them all over the floor. It would have been fine. Okay, so what is going on? Why would I call this a con? Well, it is a con once you see how it's done, but it is mind-blowing for any level of magician out there until you see the secret. Okay, so you begin with 8 cards, 7 with an even number of letters in their names, and 1 odd, which is what I did. Another set of 8 with 7 that have an odd number of letters in their card value names, with 1 exception that has an even number. So this is preparations. It doesn't, these 2 packets is all. Randomly stack these. Perform a Klondike shuffle of that. So that will put the top and bottom half in an alternating relationship. That is what you spread out on the table, okay? And really about anyone would have to, well, no one's going to see the structure, partly because you have these exceptions that break any pattern that they think they see, it's destroyed. So no one's going to see squat. Okay, so you ribbon spread the cards on the table. Technically, it is alternating relative to these 2 sets of 8. Which means that you can perform a Charlier shuffle and not hurt that alternating characteristic of the packet. Well, this is alternating those 2 sets of 8. If you perform a left-right shuffle, it separates them again. Okay, so it's like you're bringing them back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've just separated them again. And of course, they're face down. For each pile of 8 cards above, Charlier shuffle them. Think about this. These are the 8 cards we want to reveal in that packet, which we will. These are the other 8 cards we want to reveal. In some sense, all of the cards in here are equivalent. It doesn't matter where they are, right? It doesn't matter where they are. These are cards with an odd number of letters in its name, except for the one King of Diamonds. And this consists of cards that have an even number of letters in their names, with the exception being the 10 of Hearts, okay? So this is where the con is, right here. Charlier shuffle it. Well, that gives anyone who knows much about card magic, they'll think, oh, it's cyclic. These things are cyclic, right? Because you're allowed to freely cut or Charlier shuffle a cyclic packet, okay? So that's a total red herring. And then you perform a Gilbreth shuffle on a homogeneous packet. It doesn't make any difference. So we want to just maintain membership. We want these cards to stay in here somehow, right? We want these cards to stay in that grouping. You can do any kind of mixing. You can do a table wash with each of these. Or in particular, you can do a Gilbreth shuffle where you deal off a certain number, rosette shuffle those, bring those together. Makes no difference. That is where the con lies. You can repeat these 2 steps as many times as you like, randomly stack these, and then just perform a Klondike shuffle. It's almost like you're going back to the beginning here. Puts these 2 sets of 8 in an alternating relationship, and then you turn around and pull them apart again by performing a left-right dealing into 2 piles, and then magically reveal the written prediction that nails it perfectly. Okay, so I really think this is one of the greatest cons in card magic history that nonetheless has the appearance of impossibility. Because to my knowledge, you cannot perform an arbitrary number of consecutive Gilbreth shuffles and retain anything valuable if you truly started with a cyclic packet. It's just that the, quote, cyclic packets that we began with, they're cyclic in a sense only because they're 100% homogeneous. Every card's the same as every other card, except for our exceptions, but we want those exceptions in there. So in that case, you can perform as many Gilbreth shuffles as you like, or any mixing of those 2 sets of 8. So anyway, that's the secret. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.